What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for Week 1 Premier League predictions. It is here, and I cannot wait. Real quick, nearly 60% of you watching this video aren't subscribed. You just watch me and you recommended. So if you could please do me a favor, click sub down below. We're very close to 34,000. Your support's been awesome, and I really appreciate it. And also, if you want a chance to win $100, all you got to do is join all of the members flashing up on your screen now over on the Patreon. And when we hit the first international break in September, like I did last season, I will be drawing a winner to win $100. You enjoyed it then, so hopefully you can enjoy it as well now. Here's the current record for the exclusive tips posted over on Patreon. That +6 is 6 accumulators that have been posted today at the time you're watching this, with Europa League and Conference League qualifiers going on. So if you join now, not only are you entered in the members giveaway, shouted out in every single video, but you can also access those extra ACCAs there. You can pause and have a look if you want to see specifically what we've got on the screen, and of course a bunch of correct scores tipped too. But this is it. The Premier League transfer window is still open, and we're kicking it off with Liverpool up against Bournemouth. Liverpool with their customary easy first fixture of the season, and Liverpool centre of some of the hottest transfer talks this season with the Alexander Isak saga. But a team that won the league last year, also bringing in other players, the likes of Florian Wirtz, who, it has to be said, has had a very good pre-season. Ekitike scoring a very good goal in that Community Shield final. But it has to be said, Liverpool losing to Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. And I thought when Palace won, I swear the winner of the Community Shield is never the team that does well in the next season, because obviously you've got a Premier League winner in the Community Shield every year. And it's true, I think out of the last 10 Community Shield winners, only one of them has then gone on to win the league, and that was Manchester City like 5 years ago. So maybe it's a good thing as far as Liverpool are concerned that they didn't win. Bournemouth, however, good season last season. Very, very good. Record points tally. They've got the new training facilities. It's funny, as someone who is local to that area, I did go on a run once. I remember in lockdown, I ran past what was back then the empty lot where the new Bournemouth training academy now is. And it looks incredible if you haven't seen it. But perhaps you could argue, to fund the damn thing, they sold their entire defence. So I think it's going to be a little bit harder for Bournemouth this season, and going to Anfield is not easy. And on paper, I think other than Manchester United, I think Bournemouth, along with Arsenal, have the hardest run-in for the first 5 fixtures of the season, and this one's not going to be easy. So I think Bournemouth aren't going to win here. I don't think they're going to get a point, and I'm going to go for a Liverpool win. But I will say that Liverpool concede a goal. I think Bournemouth, obviously with defence, in theory, we don't know for sure, but with defence being their weakest spot, their offence is still decent, and Liverpool are vulnerable. I think Crystal Palace in that Community Shield game showed us that. They looked really good. So I'm going to go for Liverpool to win 3-1, and the tip, it's a big one to start off. I mean, there's a lot of tips. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10 tips that are evens and above for this first game week. So make sure you drop a like for that. Liverpool and both teams to score is the first tip here at 2.5. Following that, we have Aston Villa up against Newcastle. I believe Newcastle have more or less signed Jacob Ramsey. What do you think about that? Let me know. Like I said, just let me know in the comments any of your thoughts. This is going to be an interesting game. Last season, these two teams battered each other, with the home team being the victor on both occasions. And Newcastle, they have had a rough transfer window. It's not so much who they've lost, it's who they haven't got. And I think Aston Villa, I've got them at a good time at Villa Park. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. And I like the odds of Aston Villa to win at 2.25. Because if Isak stays at Newcastle, regardless, he won't be playing this game, right? He's still trying to force a move, even though he's a contracted player at the club. So I think Aston Villa have caught them at a good time here. 2-1. Aston Villa to win at 2.25. After this, we have Brighton up against Fulham. Brighton, I have high hopes for this season, actually. I do think they'll have a good season. I think they can push for Europe at the very least. Fulham haven't really done anything in this transfer window. They were a mid-table team at best, who have very much stayed still and not moved. I think they've signed a backup goalkeeper, but when the fee's in the thousands, I think it was £500,000, they're not going to pull up any trees, to say the least. So I'm going to go for a Brighton home win. The tip is, I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton, but the tip is going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2, because this could be one of those games where Fulham randomly just win with both teams scoring. I think it was like they played Newcastle last season. Everyone expected Newcastle to win, and then Fulham went and beat them like 4-1. And this just keeps that on side. The odds are evens, which I think are really good, because if you didn't see my Premier League table prediction video, I think I predicted Brighton to have some of the highest scoring games games on aggregate of the season. So I'm going to go 2-1. Now, after this, it's Sunderland up against West Ham. Now, Sunderland, you could say it's a good thing. You could say perhaps not a good thing. I suppose it depends how it goes. But Sunderland have a pretty good first 3 fixtures in the Premier League. Definitely a chance to pick up some points. So on the one hand, they have a chance to get some points and start off their season well. But on the other, if they fail to get points, they're really in trouble because then the fixtures will get progressively harder as time goes on. So Sunderland need something from their first 3 games. They'll be eyeing up that Burnley fixture for sure. I think Sunderland could win this game, but ultimately I think West Ham are better. Home form, first game back in the Premier League. I'll give Sunderland a bit of a bounce as a result of that, and I'll go for a 1-1 draw. But the tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7, which, believe it or not, is, like I said earlier, is one of the lowest odds tips of this video. Now, after this, we have Tottenham up against Burnley. Tottenham about to get a European trophy, beating PSG 2-0 with 5 minutes to go, and they lost. They Spursed it up. PSG making it 2-2, and then PSG winning on penalties. Crazy stuff, but it is the history of Tottenham, isn't it? So it's quite a quick turnaround for them, actually. Wednesday night, defeat in Udinese, or in Italy, and travelling back to London to play Burnley. Luckily, they're playing Burnley. I don't think Burnley are going to score here. I don't think it's going to be a mental game. I'm going to say Tottenham to win 2-0. They're going to do to Burnley what they did to PSG, but not capitulate at the end because Burnley are not PSG, if I even need to say that. So Tottenham to win 2-0, and the tip is going to be Tottenham and under 3.5 goals at 2.05. After this, we have Wolves up against Manchester City. Wolves lost a couple of good players, has to be said, Cunha being the main one, but they've dealt with this before. They've dealt with losing players and they've been okay. Now, I did say they'd get relegated, and starting up against Manchester City isn't a great way to, you know, potentially put doubt in people's mind as to whether or not they will be relegated. I think they're going to lose this one. Let's be honest. I think a lot of people are writing Man City off in terms of even the title race. So I do think Man City will be there or thereabouts. It depends on how many games Rodri can play, really. I think he is that big of a difference. But I'm going to say Man City win this one 2-0. But I like the odds of Man City -1 handicap at 2.1. After this, it is Chelsea up against Crystal Palace. Chelsea, club champions of the world, even though obviously most of the better teams weren't in the Club World Cup due to the way that you qualify. Not salty, but it is what it is. Chelsea and Crystal Palace, both teams have a lot to be excited about this season. I think Chelsea can really, I think they'll be in the top 4. I've predicted Chelsea to finish in the top 4 for the last 2 years. I was ahead of the curve on that. I think they could push for a title here. Will they win it? I don't think so, but they could. And Crystal Palace, I think, if they keep, if they keep Guehi, if they keep Eze, I hope they don't. I hope Eze goes to Arsenal. They've obviously got Europa Conference League, which I think they could win, but I think they can have a good season. They'll be pushing the top half as well as Europe. So I think they're going to score. They look good against Liverpool, and I could see Chelsea dropping points here, which is why my tip is not in the result market. I am, however, going to side with Chelsea 2-1, and the tip is going to be over 2.5 goals at 1.61. After this, we have Nottingham Forest up against Brentford. Brentford decimated without Thomas Frank this season. Nottingham Forest, I don't think they'll have as good a season as they did last year, I will be honest, but this is a game they can win, and I'm going against the grain as far as Brentford games used to be, in the sense there were always lots of goals, and Forest, they're no stranger to a goal-heavy game either. You know, they beat Brighton like 7-0 or something, wasn't it? So it could be mental, but I'm just going with a gut feeling here. Nottingham Forest to win 1-0, and the tip is Nottingham Forest to win at 2.05. Now, after this, it is the game of the week. Manchester United up against Arsenal. Now, before Man United got all their players in and everything like that, I was actually a bit annoyed as an Arsenal fan, because I was like, this is the best time for Man United to play Arsenal, when they have no form, nothing else going on for them, and Man United could catch Arsenal colder than if they played them a few weeks into the season. Since the transfer window has progressed, my mindset has somewhat shifted, and think it's actually a good time for Arsenal to play Man United, because it's hard to say anything other than Man United are at the very least on an upward trajectory following their summer signings. So the best time for a team to play Man United at Old Trafford is as soon as possible, when perhaps those players haven't had a chance to gel. So if we take away the fact that Arsenal's new players haven't had a chance to gel, I think it actually impacts Man United more at this time. You wouldn't want to play Man United in 3 months if they've gone and won 5 games in a row. The United strand has got a fresh taper fade, and they're looking hard to beat. You want to catch them cold. So I think due to Man United's good transfer business, it actually now favours Arsenal to play them this early. And I think that plays into their hands. And I am going to go for an Arsenal win. I think a lot of people are going to predict a draw here, but I'm going to go Arsenal to win 2-1. They have a really, really good record against the Big Six. It's against teams like Fulham and Bournemouth that they struggle, and West Ham. I think they continue that record, beat Man United on the opening day, and mark a statement signing. I think we'll see one of those at Old Trafford, 2-1, and Arsenal to win at 2 is going to be the tip. I think both teams to score looks pretty good too. But yeah, I think Arsenal to win looks very good. And the final game, we travel to Ellen Road for Leeds up against Everton. Leeds and Everton, I love this tip. It's my highest odds tip of the day. Those of you that watch the full 90 might already know where I'm going with this, but I think Everton are going to have a better season than Leeds ultimately. Leeds, maybe they stay up, maybe they don't. But Everton, they've got Jack Grealish on a season-long loan, which I think is a really smart signing. But similar to the Sunderland game, where I've only predicted 2 draws this week, and it's a newly promoted team at home. Bit of a bounce, where I think the away team is slightly better in West Ham and Everton, Premier League established, but I think the home form, like the home advantage, I should say, and the bounce of being up in the Premier League just gives them a little bit of something. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and the tip is going to be both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at 3.1. So that's 1-1 and then 2-1 either way, and I really like those odds. So if things happen that way, that would see Liverpool, well, I suppose it would be Liverpool top the table on goals scored, Tottenham and Man City second and third, and then take your pick, all the other teams that won below them. So that is going to do it. If you did enjoy this video and you're excited for the start of the new season, please do drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss any content. Make sure you join the Patreon to get involved with the giveaway and the exclusive tips and accumulators. We did have La Liga up on the channel yesterday, and we will be coming back with Serie A and Bundesliga next week as well. So that is going to do it from me, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.